Welcome to the MagiReco news. I'm Iroha. Our top story today. April the 1st has already happened a few days ago. For some reason they didn't give us the news for the April 1st event. On April 1st they gave it a few days later. Maybe it's because it was the weekend, I don't know. All I know is that stuff happened on April 1st that wasn't actually part of the event. They just announced different stuff, and we're going to start with that. The first thing they talked to us about in the news is that the 6th edition of the MagiReco book is out, because MagiReco actually releases in book form as well, which actually has very special MagiReco chapters that are only in that book. One of them, I think from the years before, was about I think it was like Livia and Yozuru and Surachi becoming maids or whatever, which was very cute. But I think there's also some bonus stuff in this one. The reason why this is actually kind of interesting is because this time it actually releases together with a new costume for Iroha. However, you can only get the Iroha, a costume, Iroha-chan actually, so the MagiReco version, if you buy this book. So you buy this book, you get a code to put into the game, and you get unfinished Iroha, which looks like just a black and white outline of Iroha-chan, if you want that. I mean, sure, why not? Also, they announced you can now download and print out, at least I think you can print out, magical carta, which is just a bunch of cards, as you can see in the background. There's just a bunch of paper cards with scenes from MagiReco on it, and you can use them in like a carta game, which I think is like a very Japanese thing. I don't think I've seen this anywhere outside of like some anime, so I don't even know what this is. But apparently there's also, together with this, a Twitter campaign where if you are following the MagiReco Twitter and you then retweet their campaign tweets, you have a chance of actually getting sent some of these cards to your house. And someone has mentioned in the Discord that it didn't mention that only Japanese players are able to take part in this. So maybe people from around the world could actually win these carta sets, and maybe it would be sent to them. But that's not a guarantee. Maybe if you do win, they go, hold up, we thought you were going to be Japanese, but you're not, so I don't know. But yeah, in theory, if you click this button down here, like if you're seeing this news in-game, you can also press the button. It takes you to that Twitter, follow that Twitter, retweet a bunch, and hopefully you get some carta. I don't actually know what this is. So maybe someone in the comments will know more about this. Also, there's a rerun of the Akuma Homura Senpai event that I haven't talked about. It's actually going to end in like 4 hours or something by the time this video goes live. I don't make videos about like reruns because it's nothing new. When I put down the news, it's supposed to be new. That's why it's called news. They're not called olds. But what is new is the fact that also on April Fool's they returned the incredible, I don't have an image for this, the incredible Paper Sumo, where if you go to your home screen in MagiReco and you go to the very top right, there's a new button that's like the Sumo button. And if you press the Sumo button, you get to play Paper Sumo, which is also something that was in the game the last 2 years. So now it's back for the 3rd year, but now in this year, there's actually new characters you get to play as, including characters from Puella Historia, like Ebony, for example, in case you want Ebony to like kick some girls or whatever in Paper Sumo. You can do that if you want to, but she will never defeat Shizuka. But the actual important stuff, why I even did this video in the first place, because if it was just that, like April Fool's stuff, yeah, it's not that important, it's not worthy of a video, but we actually did get something now, like I said, a few days after the April Fools, which is a new character. It's Infinity Iroha. It's another fucking Iroha. How many fucking Iroha do we have? We have like 10 Irohas at this point. Can we get like other characters? There's so many other characters. But she's actually quite funny in MagiReco, at least. Like in MagiReco, basically every single character is funny as fuck. Even if in the actual MagiReco game they're kind of not that fun, to be honest, not that interesting. Like Yuna is the kind of character who I just don't like in MagiReco, but in MagiReco Yuna is funny as fuck. So we have another Iroha unit. It's her Infinity Iroha-chan, who is type Infinity. This is some weird type which is probably just like in the Exceed type, probably just renamed or something like that. What is she actually like? Okay, she let's just go on this. Connect is attack up, defense up, and skill quick. Skill quick, that's a weird effect to give on a connect, but yeah, it just gives skill quick. Oh, okay, so interesting. The Magia is damage to all enemy. It gives all discs down to all enemies and all discs up to all allies, which is also another weird effect that I can't really tell how good or bad this is going to be. Probably leaning more so on the not that amazing side, because usually if you want to go all in on Excel discs, for example, you want to have a strong Excel up. You don't care about quick up, you don't care about blast up, you just want Excel up. And if you're playing a blast strategy, then you mostly just want blast up, right? Maybe a tiny bit of charge up. But usually you have like a very specific idea of what discs you want up. And an effect like all discs up usually only gives a small bonus to each disc, which is usually not very good. You know what they say about the jack of all trades? He's a master of none. And this might be very much the same case, that you're a master of none at this. Also, when it comes to debuffing enemies with all discs down, all discs does not include Magia and Doppel, because Magia and Doppel does not count as a disc. Therefore, you're not actually going to do anything about the enemy's most important attacks, because what is usually going to kill you, either in PvE or in PvP, is enemy Magias and Doppels. And this is fuck all about that, so there's nothing. It's actually worse than a damage down and worse than an attack down in that regard. So yeah, it actually doesn't seem that good. It also gives aimment resistance up to the entire party and HP regenerate to the entire party, which also seems to not be very interesting. So overall, just like almost every single other Iroha unit, she seems kind of shit by now. But here comes her active, which is kind of the wild card. It's not going to make her insane, but it might. Like, her active gives her skill quick chance and chance to evade for 8 turns. 8 fucking turns? It's fucking 8 turns? Are you fucking insane? Okay, 8? So basically for the entire battle, unless you're doing 100 evils and you're taking a while, then it might run out. But 8 turns of potentially getting skill quick. We don't know exactly how much the chance is, maybe like 40%, 50% or whatever, or 30. We don't really know what the chance is going to be, because Roman numerals don't make any sense in this game. But if it actually is something like 40-50% for 8 turns, that could be pretty darn insane, but it could also, if you have bad luck, do nothing. So far it seems like this is not Infinity Iroha-chan. This is Infinity Yukika, because we're gambling big money all on black. And you just hope that the roulette wheel lands on the right number and you get 2 meter rains in 3 turns or whatever. And it's insane. But it might just not do anything. So that's fun. This is going to be especially fun in mirrors, where you put her on your team and you hit that activate button and you just pray that on turn 2 you get your meter rain out. And if you don't, she's fucking useless and does nothing. So that's fun. Just use a character that has 100% skill free. What are her passives? She has a passive to regenerate MP for the entire battle for infinite turns, because she is Infinity Iroha-chan after all. She regenerates a bunch of MP. I don't know how much that is, but having just a passive MP restore for the entire fight, that's pretty good. So he's going to be able to get a lot of Magias, which, like I said, her Magia is not that amazing, but getting a lot of them is also nice. I'm not going to say no to that. She also starts the battle with 15% MP, which is 22.5, I think, 22.5 MP at the battle start. That's pretty nice as well. Together with the regen, you're going to get some pretty fast Magias and Doppels. And she also has anti-Magia seal. I have a feeling that she might have some really weird stuff in her other notes that we aren't seeing right now, so hold on to your horses until then. And it said that her Doppel is attribute strengthened, and that the buffs and debuffs are extended to 5 turns. Like, yeah, it's not that important, to be honest. However, what is kind of important is the fact that she's very cute. And also the fact that we have her more. By the way, this one here is unfinished Iroha, as I said earlier. The new costume, I guess, for regular Iroha-chan that you can get for buying the MagiReco book. This one does is it actually kind of strong. It gives damage increase to self and double damage up to self for 1 turn, which seems to be pretty strong. These are all the different versions of Iroha, by the way, that have appeared in MagiReco, although this over here is an imposter, it's actually Madoka, but forget about that. And then we also have the passive, which is just attack out max self-defense with max time, which doesn't matter that much. More importantly, this is part of a step up, okay? And here's the fun little thing about the step up. Apparently, people like the step up so much that they decided to increase the step up from 5 steps to 7 steps. Now you still get the exact same stuff at 5 steps, at least for the most part. You still get like the guaranteed magical girl at 5 steps, but now there's a 6th step that doesn't give anything, but then there's a 7th step that also gives a guaranteed 4-star magical girl, as well as a ticket for any of the 4-star memoria that are rate up, which in this case is just this one. And I feel like they might do more step ups like this in the future, where you can get other kinds of memoria tickets for whatever rate up 4-star gacha memoria are in that gacha. So here's a way of actually guaranteeing at least 1 copy of the rate up memoria, but it costs a grand total of like 1,000 paid gems, which is more than like 2 big bags combined. Which the value of that is debatable. The value of that might be extremely fucking terrible. But hey, if you're a whale, you can guarantee at least one fucking memoria, and you get like 2 guaranteed 4-star girl, which don't have to be the rate up girl, by the way. Keep in mind, this guaranteed 4-star doesn't have to be the rate up girl. It's still like 60% chance to actually get the rate up, so gambling. And then you also have the event, which is gonna be funny as fuck probably as well, because so far every single MagiReco event has been the absolute pinnacle of MagiReco humor. And there's also going to be a background for it. Does it actually show the background somewhere? There's a background you get for this. Did they not show what background it was? Okay, it might be spoilers for the event, but there's a background you get as well, like another MagiReco background that you can get. And yeah, apart from that, it's just a normal double tower. It's just a regular ass double tower, and nothing else about it. But yeah, that was that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hit the subscribe button, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys next time.